Language is really weird. Consider the word orange. It means the color orange, but it also means the fruit. And surprisingly, it's in Spanish and French and even Vietnamese. But you want to know what's even weirder than that? In Vietnam, oranges are green. Hey everyone, so a while ago I posted on my personal Facebook asking people who are doing Duolingo, because I felt like a lot of the people I was friends with on Duolingo were not active on it. So I was just curious if there were people out there who I could be friends with. And that post got so many people commenting that I thought, wow, people really like Duolingo. So I decided that I was going to do a video. And I've tried to film this a couple times, but I didn't realize how difficult it would be, because being filmed makes me more nervous, so I would take longer to do the lessons, and I also just was like having technical difficulties. So this is like my third time trying to do this video. So I hope you enjoy it. It's very different from what I usually do. If you normally watch my videos, it's usually about art, but or about my life living abroad. And I think this is a huge component of what it's like living in another country. You have to try and learn the language. So yeah, so I hope you think it's kind of interesting. If not, you know, give it a like anyway, please. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Are you doing Duolingo? I don't know if other people are doing videos like these. It's kind of interesting. Okay, well, hope you enjoy. See you next time. So I took Spanish in high school and for my first 2 semesters of college. And I remember that I didn't really apply myself in high school, but I still somehow managed to get myself into like the accelerated program. And almost everyone in that class were these other Hispanic girls who, you know, grew up speaking Spanish, and me. And I don't know how I ended up there, but I guess I kind of took to it. So I would say Spanish is my best second language. So I'll start with that. Here we go with household.
Me gusta mucho este reloj.
Me gusta mucho. Oh, I'm gonna press the button. Me gusta mucho este reloj.
2 habitaciones son azules. Hay 2 ventanas pequeñas en el baño.
Hay 2 ventanas pequeñas en el baño.
El dormitorio del niño es azul.
Bedroom is azul. It's very gender conforming, isn't it? Oh, I'm in blue.
Tenemos 2 relojes en la oficina.
Tenemos 2 relojes en la oficina.
Ellos tienen un escritorio en la sala.
First of all, I like her reaction the best.
Ellos tienen un escritorio en la sala.
Ellos tienen something.
Ellos tienen un escritorio en la sala. Ellos tienen un escritorio en la sala.
The woman in the Spanish one, it's her.
Ellos tienen un escritorio en la sala.
Un escritorio en la sala. I just have to.
Ellos tienen un escritorio en la sala.
I always have to listen to her slow because I get her wrong a lot.
Tenemos dos relojes en la oficina.
We have 2 clocks in the office.
Esta casa tiene 3 baños modernos. Esta casa tiene 3 baños modernos.
That's a lot of bathrooms. Yo necesito un reloj en mi dormitorio.
La ventana de la sala es azul. La ventana de la sala es azul.
La sala es azul. Tienes una piscina. La sala tiene 2 ventanas. I think it's interesting that Spanish is the only language that I'm studying that doesn't have, like, the only way to make a question is inflection. That's very interesting. Unless I'm mistaken, but it doesn't say that there's ever any other option. It's just, you just say it as a statement and then inflect the question by your tone of voice. Dos dormitorios son azules. Yo necesito ir al baño, por favor. La cocina tiene una casa en la playa. What did I do wrong? Oh, tenemos.
El dormitorio del niño es azul.
The boys' room is blue. Gotta use the correct word. Jorge y yo tenemos una casa en la playa. All right. Okay, let's do French next. So like I said, I took Spanish in high school and 2 semesters in college, and the reason why I stopped was because I found out I was going to be studying abroad in France. So I was like, oh, I better learn some French. So I took 1 semester of French before I moved to France for one semester, and it was pretty actually difficult because there's a lot of similarity between French and Spanish, and I had a tendency to confuse my vocabulary. I would think something was like the right word, and it was the Spanish word, but I was conjugating it in French and stuff like that. But anyway, so I had one semester of French, and I moved in with my host mother, who was this like, older woman who didn't speak any English. So it was very, like I could only speak to her in French, and I only had one semester of French, so it was pretty difficult. But it did force me to learn more quickly, and I was continuing my language there a little bit. But I went to an American university in France, so all my fellow students were American, so it wasn't as good. The day I moved to, I arrived in Aix-en-Provence, which is where I was studying. I met this guy named Ryan who was going to an international university, so all the other students were forced to speak French because there was no like common language. I mean, there were people who spoke English there, but like he was forced to study French or to speak French more. So he was like really good, really fast. But when we arrived, I remember we like went to lunch together, and like we sat down at a table, and like they asked something, and I barely understood her, but he like totally didn't understand her, and I was like, she asked if you need a spoon, and he's like, how did you know that? And I'm like, well, because we're in a restaurant, and I was assuming that because you ordered soup that you needed a spoon. It was something like that, and I was just like thinking, learning language isn't just like listening and all that stuff. It's also like taking into account the context. Anyway, that's just a little anecdote. So let's do my French lesson. Let's just do activities.
Nausée. Nausée.
Le livre. Nous aimons la musique.
Nous aimons la musique.
Elle a un livre. Nous aimons lire.
Nous aimons lire.
Nous aimons Paris. Le livre.
Le chocolat.
Nous aimons lire.
So I have some trouble spelling in French because, like I said, I had to speak quickly, and French spelling is like it's very deceptively difficult. The rules
J'aime lire, et toi?
seem to change.
J'aime lire, et toi?
And a lot of words look exactly the same, and or look completely different, and they're pronounced the same, which is the difficulty.
J'aime le chocolat.
This is a really boring lesson.
Nous aimons Duo.
J'aime la musique.
So the host woman I stayed with in France was had been hosting students for years. I can't remember how many, but like 10 years or something like that every year. And she told me that I was the first boy that she had hosted, and I was 22 at the time, 23. So I was kind of late going to do my study abroad. But anyway, at the end of it, she said that she will take boys in the future because boys were easier than girls. And while I was there, she picked up a second student who was this girl from Japan named Yuko, and like really quickly after she arrived, she got this French boyfriend, and then like wouldn't come home for dinner, or like sleep in the apartment. And I thought it was really shady, especially because my host's mother, it was a 2-bedroom, and when Yuko moved in, she slept on the sofa so that Yuko could sleep in her bedroom. So every night Yuko wouldn't come home, and she'd sleep on the sofa, and like her bedroom was just totally empty, and Yuko was sleeping at her French boyfriend's apartment. So I just thought that was rude. Anyway, next lesson. So when I found out we were moving to China, I got this book that was focused on learning the characters. Because I knew I wasn't going to be immersed in the language, I was like, well, maybe I could like focus on reading first. And I don't know what you know about Mandarin Chinese, but it contains many thousands of characters. Every word is a character. Sometimes one word is 2 characters. So when I started using this book, I probably made it maybe through, I don't know, half the book or something before we moved, and then I kind of dropped the ball and didn't work on it anymore. But I think I got through maybe a couple thousand characters, and there are like thousands and thousands of characters in Chinese. I think it's like 10,000. So I got pretty far, but I don't. Every once in a while, I think about going back and familiarizing myself with that book and finishing it, because it was really helpful. And it kind of focused on like building up your character, like, because all of the characters kind of build from these base characters, and then you add them together to make new characters and stuff like that. But anyway, I thought that made learning Chinese very difficult, and it is, because it's hard to become literate. Like you basically, it's not like you just learn an alphabet and then you could read anything even if you don't understand it. You basically either know that character set or you don't. And so it's like when you go out on the street and you see a sign, you might recognize 1 or 2 words, and then the rest of it is just like, I have no idea. So that makes learning that language very difficult. But then once I moved to Vietnam, I could read signs, but I don't know what they mean, so it doesn't really help. What I've discovered is I enjoyed the character part of Chinese a lot. It was kind of more visually interesting to me, and I guess that's because I'm an artist and I'm visual and I like the idea of it. So anyway, let's do what's next in Chinese. Okay, I'll start dining, 4th level. Hopefully I'll be good at this one.
Hai,
Oh shoot.
hai,
See, that's all about the accents.
hai,
Hi. Hi. That's me.
你
But
本，以，
你
she
喜欢 日本 日本韩国菜还是日本菜吃吃
Okay.
个。签。本台。
我会去上海见一个朋友。你想去西班牙旅游还是日本旅游？
Okay, I'm gonna sound this out. 你想去西班牙
你想去西班牙旅游还是日本旅游？旅游。
Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna go for it. 你想去西班牙旅游
游还
还是
日
本
本旅游。
Okay. Wish me luck. 你想去西班牙旅游还是日本？I think I most of it. 想去 bad. It's very difficult.
我很吃喜欢吃上海菜。
你想去西班牙旅游
还是日本
旅游。
That's kind of easy because I just had to say.
我很喜欢吃上海菜。
I just had to do that one too.
我很喜欢吃上海菜。
我很喜欢吃上海菜。Would you like to eat food from Shanghai or be in the evening? Okay, so
你想
I think 你
晚上吃想上海菜还是北京菜。
Alright, the thing I don't know is whether the xiang, which means want, goes before or after eat tonight. I did it right!
你喜欢吃韩国菜还是日本菜？
I keep giving me big long ones. Okay, 你喜欢吃 I don't know what that is. It's like, I think
你喜欢吃韩国菜还是日本菜？
韩国菜还是日本菜？
韩国
OK. 你喜欢吃韩国菜还是日本菜？ I basically speak Chinese.
我很喜欢吃上海菜。
I like Shanghai food better. I like eating Shanghai cuisine the most. Oh, I really like.
我会去上海见一个朋友。
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 我会去上海见一个朋友。That was not too hard.
你们想吃中国菜还是英国菜？
Okay. Do you want to eat Chinese food or
英
British food? No contest there, right? Okay.
你想去西班牙旅游还是日本旅游？
Do you want to go traveling to Spain or to Japan? To travel to Spain or travel to Japan?
晚上你想吃上海菜还是北京菜？
晚上吃想吃你晚上你想吃上海 So this is that one. Okay. Do you want to eat? Do you want to eat Shanghai cuisine or Beijing cuisine in the evening? In Chinese, you always have to establish the time of something at the beginning of the sentence. So it starts with, in the evening, do you want? But we don't usually say that in that order. Ni yao he cafe
喝咖啡，喝
cafe
还是菜，菜茶菜，喝喝
Okay.
我很喜欢吃上海菜。
I really like eating Shanghai cuisine. Okay, Vietnamese. So it's very disappointing, but Vietnamese doesn't have any lessons. It just has like the testing part. You know, it's just the one I struggled the most with. And I'm very glad that Duolingo took away the hearts thing, because it makes me want to, you know, to do it more. Okay. Ko, la, I don't know how to say American. Noi, mi. Hey.
Nó là bánh mì.
It is bread. Yeah. My Vietnam. So it's just like Vietnam co toy. Oh, so Vietnam is 2 words in Vietnamese. I guess
Cậu bé ăn nó.
The child eats it. Okay. Told you this was not going to be good. and I forgot reads. Duck. Chi. Me. Yay! I am Vietnamese. Tuk dun. I can't remember how it's spelled. Tuk. Oh, there's tuk dun. Me. Mot. Oh. This is gonna take a while. Trial that Sula. Tea and milk. Tea and milk. Try. Koi. Tick. Yeah.
Một ly trà.
Một ly trà. Oh my gosh. T-R-A.
Nó là một con ong. Nó là một con ong. Nó là một con ong.
Nó là một.
Nó là một con ong.
Con ong. Oh. It's a bee. Con ong. Okay. Tôi thích that one.
Đứa trẻ thích ăn cá.
Trẻ thích ăn
Đứa trẻ thích ăn cá.
cá. See, I think this is the kid likes eating chicken. Yeah. Oh, fish.
Một thực đơn Mỹ.
Một thực thực một thực
Một
đơn
thực đơn Mỹ.
Mỹ.
Việt Nam của tôi.
Việt Nam của tôi. Việt Nam của tôi.
Cậu bé ăn nó.
The little boy eats it. Một thực đơn Mỹ.
Một ly trà.
Một ly trà.
Nó là một con ong.
Nó là một con ong. That was less painful than I thought it was going to be, but it was still pretty bad. All right, well, thanks for watching. I hope this was like kind of interesting to you. It was kind of just an idea I had, and I just thought people might be interested to see one person doing 4 different languages on Duolingo. Maybe it's not interesting, but I have fun doing it. So, and I do it every day, and I just kind of wanted to see what this video would look like when I was finished. So if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and give me a subscribe. Even though I'm not doing this normally, I do art and talk about Vietnam sometimes. So yeah, I'll see you next time.